Hello everyone, today I wanted to make an updated version of my video on how to do punch needle. So it's faster and it's a little bit more compact and easy to understand and quick, so you don't have to go to a million places to understand how it's done. So the basics of your punch needle: I'm using the adjustable punch needle here, and this is a linen cloth that I'm punching on called primitive linen. So basically, if you have a certain shape that you want to create, let's say there's a circle or a triangle or a square. I'm going to work with square just so I can show you how to change the direction of punching as well. So first thing you have to do is, I like to use punch needle or hold it as a pen, not perpendicular, because it's actually going to be a little bit harder to punch, but hold it like a pen really comfortably. You don't need to strain, and please don't strain your hand because it'll hurt in like 2 minutes. So you want to make sure that you're very comfortable when you're doing this. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an initial punch, and from the other side we're going to pull the end of the yarn. Okay, we want to have all the loops and all the ends on the other side of the fabric. This is the back working area, the other side is our front. So I'm going to lift the needle, and now I see it's actually not turned in the direction because I'm going to go this way. So you always want to have this big opening, which I refer to as a front of the needle, turned in the direction of punching. So if you're going this way, you want it to be turned this way. If you're going this way, you want it to be turned like this. So I'm just going to go back in again and pull that yarn. Okay. So when you lift, you want to make sure that the tip of the needle is still touching the fabric. Okay. So as you're touching, or you're keeping the tip of the needle on your fabric, you're going to move it forward a little bit, just about 3 holes, depending on the thickness of the yarn you're using. This is a bulky yarn, so it can go about 3 to 4. With thinner yarn, I would go, 2 to 3. With thinner yarn, I would go about 3 to 4. So now, as I'm entering the fabric, I want to go all the way down as much as the needle allows me to do so. The metal tip, not the plastic. Then I'm going to come back up, keep the tip on the needle, on the fabric, and then I'm going to go down again. Every time you punch, you should go down all the way, and that'll ensure that the length of the loops on the other side will be even. Let's say I'm going to make a small square right here. So as I've punched in this direction, now I'm going to turn the needle, and I can double check by slightly pulling it out that it's facing the front. Put it back in again, just to ensure that the loop is the same length. And I'm going to pull it up again and go down. I'm going to turn this just so it's easier for you to see. Now we have a little L shape going on. Now I'm going to turn the needle again and continue all the way down, and not pulling the needle up too much, because let's say you do this, either the loop can come out, the previous one, or as you're punching down, you're going to have this extra loop here, which is something that we do not want. Okay, so if this happens, simply pull on the yarn from the other side of your needle, enough so that the tip of the needle is again touching fabric, and you can punch again and continue going. Filling out a shape, I usually make an outline, and then I go in sort of a circular motion inwards until I'm all the way in. So I would continue like this. You want to do a line next to previous punch, like this. At the same time, you want to make sure that you're not going into each corner too much, because I find that that creates warping. It's just too many loops on the other side, and then the surface is not even. So I'm just going to continue punching. And once I'm done, I'm going to snip from the other side. So I'm going to turn this over. And first, you can kind of look at your piece and see if it has enough loops in, if there are any gaps. If there are gaps, then you can either repunch or just add some more stitches in so it's a little bit more even. At the end, you want to snip your ends and loops that are simply too long to the length of the rest of the loops so that your surface is even